Welcome to the MPFFU podcast. The intent and purpose of the MPFFU podcast is to support the mission to improve wages, working hours, and working conditions for its members. This podcast will disseminate evidence-based relevant information, resources, and strategies. To accomplish this, the MPFFU podcast will provide reliable, factual, and actionable information that strengthens, empowers, and supports the MPFFU members and locals through united action. Now our host, Jeff Lassers.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. In this two-part episode, I sit down with the chairpersons of the MPFFU Recruitment and Retention Committee and the Political Education Committee. In the first part of this episode, we welcome back firefighter paramedic Scott Korycki from the Dearborn Fire Department, Local 412. Korycki also serves as the MPFFU Recruitment and Retention Committee Chair. Scotty's here to provide us with an update regarding what his committee has accomplished since his last appearance on the show back in November of last year. In the second part of the episode, we welcome back the other Scott, Scott Bala, who serves as the MPFFU 6th District Vice President and the Chairperson of the Political Education Committee. Scotty B is retired from the Roseville Fire Department, Local 1614, after 30 years. Bala will give us an update from the Political Education Committee and let us know how things are going. It was a pleasure to sit down with both of these gentlemen again, and I think you'll be happy with the progress that each of their committees have made in the last 6 months. This episode is brought to you in part by Fresh Coast Custom Leather Works. Fresh Coast creates beautiful, custom, handcrafted, American-made leather goods. This Michigan-based company has a great selection of high-quality, customizable products for firefighters, including suspenders, radio straps, radio holsters, chin and glove straps, shields, and passports. Purchase a set of suspenders and get 10% off anything else you purchase. Visit freshcoastleather.com for more details. Remember, the MPFFU podcast is always trying to improve, so please email us your feedback and tell us what you think about the show, or send us ideas for future episodes to mpffupodcast@gmail.com. Also, check out the MPFFU Instagram account at m.p.f.f.u. And finally, please subscribe to the Michigan Professional Firefighter Union YouTube channel. Thank you, and enjoy the show. Hi, Scott.
How are you, sir?
It's a double Scott day, so I'm good.
It's awesome. Good to see you again.
Very good to have you as well. This is your second time back. I don't know if you know this or not, but your episode was one of the most viewed episodes we've had so far.
I've heard I'm in a close second to the original episode. Hoping to beat that.
And Mo, who we had in the last one, is quickly surpassing everybody.
I know she's a close third, and she deserves everything she gets.
Yeah.
She's an awesome person to be around, knowing her personally and professionally. She's that person that you want to know in life.
Yeah, she's
because
cool.
She's a person that makes you smile. Maureen is awesome. Knowing her husband since I was 15 years old. I've known her husband since I was 15.
Do you give her ammo?
I do. Every so randomly, I'll send her and her husband, Chris, a picture of what Chris looked like when he was 17, and we get a great laugh. Great. Those are those people that when you get older in life that you're very, very blessed and lucky to know when you just say those are good people.
Right, exactly.
And Maureen and Chris are just good people.
Right on. Well, shout out Chief Chris and Mo, the Tigers nutrition coordinator. Ooh, big deal.
She is a big deal. She's bigger to know than Chris. And he's 6'6".
And he'd admit it all day.
Yep.
All right, let's get after it. Okay, so the last time you were here, you were telling us about what you're going to do.
Yes, sir.
And it's been a number of months since then, 4 or 5 months. I can't remember. That's a lot of time
Almost
to get
6,
some stuff done. Yeah, but it's still not enough time, right? There's never enough time in the day.
Never enough.
So what have you gotten done, and what's going on? Give us an update.
So the things we have gotten done. We have those posters up. We have them across the state, all the way up in the UP, in fact. Our friends from Marquette have handled things. Our brothers and sisters in Traverse City, our brothers and sisters in Muskegon. We have 3 different style posters. Every single one of these posters have a QR code where you just take your phone, hit that QR code, and that goes directly to mpffucareers.com, which is a great resource. It is done, completed, and I'll tell you, whether you're northeast, south, and west of Michigan, where you may go to college for the firefighters or to be a paramedic, great resource, but that QR code gets you right to that website. We have our Instagram, m.p.f.f.u. We have that up and running. Great content on there.
Man, you guys have grown the crap out of that thing. Amanda West, what did I see? There's like hundreds, if not almost 1,000 people on there now?
I think we're at 1,000.
Wow.
And with no sponsorship, no nothing, just word of mouth, getting it out there. We've got that done. We did some billboards over the holiday season. We had billboards up for a few months with the QR code, MPFU.
I've seen them everywhere, and I got to tell you, it's been really cool to not only see it, but the style's nice. It looks good. It's not cheesy. We always get a little like, oh, what the cringy, like, what do you mean you're doing advertising? But you guys have really pulled it off, and it's a very good representation, I think, stylistically. And let's face it, advertising's a big deal. You got to nail it in order to get attention. And I think you're really hitting a good visual representation of who we are.
I appreciate that. Yeah, great committee, great minds. We're all working together. It's really coming together to create this wonderful career and this wonderful, strong union that we have together.
Absolutely. What else going on?
So a couple things we have going on very, very, very soon. On March 7th at Oakland Community College at the Auburn Hills campus, we'll have a career/job fair that we'll have someone out there from our committee out there. And then on March 14th at Plymouth Canton Educational Park for the high schoolers, which if you don't know where Plymouth Canton Educational Park, it's Plymouth Salem, Canton.
Yeah, it's like 8,000 kids going to school there. You could get a couple of them.
Correct.
I got to imagine some of those
I'm actually
kids.
a graduate from there myself, right. And it's bigger than some colleges in the state.
Right.
Where we're going to have someone else out there. We have a booth, someone else out there from our committee on March 14th at Plymouth Canton Educational Park. And then on April 28th, we'll have someone from our committee at Redford Union to handle the Redford Public Schools.
Right on.
So again, March 7th, March 14th, April 28th, check us out, look for us. Check us out on his Instagram account. You'll see where we'll be at.
Thank you very much for that update. You guys are doing a great job. We've actually recruited and retained a few people we actually like, so it must be working.
It's working. We also just finished our challenge coin that we handed out to President Sarr today that he's handing out to everybody. It's a great insignia on the front, and it pays some fantastic memories to people that have served us in the past, serving us presently, and will serve us in the future on the other side of the coin.
I know those are very popular, and it's a nice little pun you threw on there on the other side of the coin. I like that.
Yes,
well,
sir.
Thanks for joining us today. Good luck.
I appreciate it, and I appreciate the opportunity and the hard work that you have done, Jeff, for us.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, buddy. Good to see you.
Peace out.
Thank you, sir.
Hi, Scott.
Hey, Jeff. How's it going?
I'm good, buddy. Welcome to Novi.
Yes, Novi in March.
Here we are. Right. It's wonderful southeastern Michigan. If you've never been here in March, I'm not surprised. You're not from here.
Beautiful facility, though.
Y'all had wonderful facility. Good people.
Suburban Showcase, Novi. Come do business here.
Right. Go charge them
I
for an ad.
I don't work
while
for
we're
them,
here.
so.
Well, fair enough. Well, let's talk about what you do. Who are you? What do you do? And where do you do it?
So, I'm back for another podcast. I liked it so much. I am Scott Bala, retired firefighter, Battalion Chief out of the city of Roseville, and now the MPFFU 6th District Vice President, Chairman of the Political Education Committee, a.k.a. Political Action Committee. Kind of wear two hats there.
Right.
We educate and we take action.
Right on. Yeah, and it's not to be confused with two different things. It's become the same thing, synonymous, if you will.
Yes.
So you were here a number of months ago. Since then, we've been doing the same thing, hopefully a little bit better, gaining some momentum. And your group had a lot of initiatives you described. Can you give us an update and really ending the first quarter of 2023, what's going on with the Political Education Action Committee?
Sure, there you go. Political education. So we are going to educate our legislators. I am going to use a little cheat sheet here.
Please do.
One of the main focuses that the e-board set, one of our agendas, was to educate our elected officials better. And part of that is going to be giving them a book, good old-fashioned hard copy book. Well, soft copy. Soft cover, but something they can hold their hands, touch, look, feel, and read.
Not a PDF and an email.
That's
an
right.
Actual physical
book, old school.
All
but
right.
sometimes that's better,
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes you got to mix it up. So they'll get electronic version, but we want something to hand them that they could say, wow, it's going to have a nice MPFFU logo and cover and all that. But we're still in the final printing stages of that, but the material's done. And so what we did, we came up with our key agenda items going to this legislative session, focusing on 4 main areas with some subcategories. We have municipal funding, which is always a battle to get more money into our locals. Underneath municipal funding, we're going to talk about staffing with recruitment retention, remind them of some of the pitfalls of a PSO model. And we're going to talk about funding of pensions and other post-employment benefits and the elimination of the pension tax, which we'll talk about in a second, but has been done already.
Right.
It's already been accomplished.
Well, you can get that right out of the book, but probably went off to the printer already. So there's an extra page in there. Okay.
So I think we'll be able to maybe pull that out. But yeah, so that's gone, and we'll touch on that in a minute.
So let me ask you this, for our listeners that didn't tune into maybe your first one, maybe not remember, this book is to really get our politicians educated on the goals and objectives and political motives of the MPFFU throughout our entire state for our locals and members, correct?
Yep.
So it's to say, this is where we stand.
Yep. These are our hot button issues, if you will.
Copy.
Things we need that are near and dear to our heart that are going to benefit our members across the state.
So give us an update on some of those.
So elimination of the pension tax.
That's huge.
That was huge. So that got done. It's not law yet, but it's now through the House and Senate and is making its way to the governor's office for signature. It's like a lot of things in Lansing, it's part of a multifaceted package. I'll say the one downside is it didn't get enough votes for immediate effect for this year, but it will be coming April of 24. So that's a roughly 4.25% savings for all of our retirees and all you future retirees. You won't have to pay the state of Michigan anymore.
Give me the coffee table firehouse rendition elevator version of what this thing means. You got anybody listening to this podcast who's an MPFFU member is literally anywhere from like 20 years old to 55 years old.
Correct.
So a lot of our younger ones might not understand that or even be thinking about it right now. So give them implications of what this really means.
So it's a direct savings in your pocketbook of 4.25% of your pension. When you retire, that money that the state is currently taking out of your pension will no longer be taken out of your pension.
And you say it goes into effect
specifically. April of 24.
April of 24, and it's not automatic like a lot of people hope for first responders, correct?
Effective date will be next year, unfortunately, but it's coming.
So the win is we got it. The that's not so great is we didn't get the automatic let's go.
Yeah, the immediate effect. Yep.
Sure.
Got to wait a year, but
so for the young cats out there, huge win.
For someone like me who's already retired, I got to wait another year for that savings, but that's okay.
That's okay.
I'm okay with that.
It's coming. That's
coming.
Better than not coming at all.
So yeah, this was a big first win for everybody in the state, but for our members specifically, as we were part of that team that was really pushing for it with a number of other statewide unions.
Great.
Good work.
What else is going on?
Also talking to them, we want to keep the message of presumption, whether that's healthcare. We'll call it about cancer presumption, infectious disease presumption. And for those that don't know, Michigan has a cancer presumption law for firefighters. And I don't want to commit to memory all the cancers, but there's a list of cancers that are linked on our website that qualify under presumptive laws that we want to keep that. While we have the law there and it is working well, we want to keep it funded. We want to make sure the legislators know that we got to keep funding that bill, keep funding that law. And so anybody that comes down with a cancer can apply for it. You go through workers' comp, then you also fill out the cancer presumption application, and then essentially the presumption side of it takes over for workman's comp. So really the employers should be encouraging you to apply for that if you unfortunately come down with a cancer.
I think the big one there is the prevention through getting screening and getting it way early.
Yep, and that's we're trying to help our locals and push them to work with their employers to collectively bargain a screening for their members every year.
Yeah, it seems to be that there's more of an opportunity for both parties to win from a more preventative maintenance situation rather than, don't go look because I'm going to pay for it.
If someone's looking at it from a dollar cents standpoint, sure, get it early, get it cheaper. Talking about just from the reality of a human life, then there's no cost on that. So we would like to look at expanding those presumptions into an infectious disease. I don't have to tell you, we come across a lot of infectious disease out there. I mean, COVID is still around. We have hepatitis, and the list goes on and on. So look at that. And then
apathy. That's another disease out there.
Another thing that we're looking at that has been increasing, it seems like lately, is the behavioral health and post-traumatic stress disorder. And we want to work on legislation to make that presumptive, and people can apply for that through workman's comp. A couple isolated cases that workers' comp has approved a claim for folks, but it's quite difficult right now, but we're working through that. So if we can get some legislation in there, take those first steps to getting it recognized as a true workers' comp situation for our firefighters throughout the state. Collective bargaining rights, always on the table. We want to secure Public Act 312, which is binding arbitration for maybe some of our newer, younger listeners. We've had that around since the 60s. Allows us to collectively bargain, or not just collectively bargain, but if we meet an impasse, we have a resolution. So we just want to make sure that doesn't get taken away, stay on top of it. And then the other big one under PARA, the Public Employee Relations Act, is to bring back something we used to have, is the ability to bargain on minimum staffing and mandatory staffing levels. We lost that a number of years ago. It's a subjective subject of bargaining, not mandatory. So the employer can just say, no, we don't want to talk about it. We just want to get back to the table with it and allow our local bargaining units to be able to go back and talk about staffing levels in the fire department. And doesn't mean we're going to get everything we want, but at least that we can talk about it and have a way to take it to arbitration, get it in front of a mediator or an arbitrator, and have those discussions on safe staffing levels. And then healthcare reform with Public Act 152 that went into effect a number of years ago, again, when the economy was down. Economy's been rebounding, and that's where it prohibits the employer from paying more than 20%. So it's an 80-20 split, which a lot of our members have to pay in their healthcare. So look either to repeal or amend that act. So those are the big topics, for the legislative book that's going to be given to our elected officials up here in Lansing. And then some other things that we're working on is online store to buy all your MPFFU official swag.
Right on.
You'll be able to order direct from the store. Like I said, it should be released through an email in the next week. We're that close. Just did our couple trial runs, so look for that soon, and you'll be able to buy direct from the supplier. Now, this is a fully union company, union print shop with union workers, and they'll provide either union-made products or at the very least American-made products. And so that'll be available soon. And then another little token out there is literally a token, a challenge coin. And so that's all the rage lately, challenge coins. So we're going to have our own MPFFU challenge coin for sale. And then also, not just for sale, if you become a monthly contributor, as little as $5 a month, $60 a year, you're going to get a challenge coin for being a monthly contributor to Fire Pack.
Okay, so those are some really cool initiatives that you're maintaining. You're making a lot of headway. Anything coming up that you want to let everybody know before we sign off?
Attend your district meetings. A lot more information coming. We got the spring district meetings coming up. I don't have all the dates in front of me. If you're in the 6th district, though, March 29th in Novi, right back here. It's the Urban Showcase.
I'll be at Fire that night. I wish I could be there.
Attend your district meetings. More information to come. Your state MPFFU e-board is going to be in Lansing for a lobby day. Lobbying on your behalf coming up March 16th with our fire coalition. So we'll be up in Lansing, I should say, fighting for all you guys again.
Right on.
Appreciate your support.
All right, buddy. Well, thank you very much. I'm sure we'll see more about that, and have a good day.
All right. Thanks, Jeff.
That is all for the show today, everybody. I hope all of our listeners enjoyed this show. Remember, the MPFFU podcast is always trying to improve, so please email us your feedback and tell us what you think about the show, or send us ideas for future episodes to mpffupodcast@gmail.com. Also, check out the MPFFU Instagram account at m.p.f.f.u. And finally, please subscribe to the Michigan Professional Firefighter Union YouTube channel. Thanks. Have a great day.